What's good, guys? So today is going to be a video because this might be the most difficult thing I ever have done on this car. We're going to be changing all three belts. I think it's a serpentine belt, it's an AC belt, and a transmission belt, right? Those are the three. So we're going to get those three belts. What is it? No? Is this all three serpentine belts? This is what it is? Well, whatever it is, it's three different serpentine belts, whether it's the AC, whatever it is. But it is the most enduring project that I've ever done on a car. We're gonna have to lift up the car, take the tire off, take this nut, take this bolt off. It's gonna be a project, but you guys are here for the journey. So let's get right into it. And the first couple of steps is gonna be safety first because we want everything 100% safe. We're gonna put the tire stops, we're gonna put the e-brakes, we're gonna put the jack stands, we're gonna put everything to make sure nothing happens, nothing falls, nothing messes up. All right, let's get this emergency brake up. Next, we're gonna make sure to put two tire stops on each of the back wheels. All right, so we got the jack and the jack stand right in position, but before we lift up the car, we're gonna wanna loosen up the bolts right here on the wheel itself. All right, so we found that the best way to lift the car is to lift it from the front in order to get both jack stands on either side. There is a little metal piece right past the bumper. It's a little cutout. You're gonna wanna put the jack right there and you can lift it right there from the front. So right there, right past the bumper, you're gonna wanna put the jack right there and you should be able to lift the car straight up. And right here is where you're gonna wanna put the jack stand, this little lip right there. All right, guys, you guys already know on this channel, we keep it 100. And I messed up by buying the wrong jack. I'm gonna turn it around and show you. So originally we had this small little blue jack. I think it was like $109 at Harbor Freight. It was 1.5 tons and it was a low profile, but it didn't reach the height I needed. So we had to go back to Harbor Freight, return it, and we just bought the big boy, the 3-ton one right here. This one is a low profile as well, but this one does reach a higher height. So now that we have this big boy right now, we're gonna continue the same process. We're gonna put it right underneath the car, right on that metal part, right underneath the bumper, and then we'll be able to jack up the car, put the jack stands on, and then we'll finally be able to change the serpentine belts. All right, so the first thing you're gonna wanna do is take this ground wire right here, remove this bolt. Next, you're gonna wanna take these 12mm bolts and loosen them up that hold on the power steering right here, just so you guys can get to the belt easier. And there's one bolt right here, and this is the other bolt you're gonna wanna loosen up. So once you remove both of those bolts right there, you're gonna wanna come right here. This just lifts straight up and move it to the side just a little bit. And then we're gonna remove this tension pin right here. All right, so once you remove that tensioner, we're just gonna put this power steering bracket right here and hang it right there so we can get to the other belts. All right, so now we loosen this. Now we're gonna loosen this 12mm bolt that's right behind this belt right here. I don't know if you can see it, but it's right there. That bolt we're gonna loosen up next. All right, so once you loosen up that bolt just a little bit, maybe just a quarter turn or so, just enough to drop the belt right down there. So if your car does have this little like cover, you're gonna wanna take this cover off just to access the belts portion. So that belt just basically fell off right there. And then there's two more belts that you need to get to. And in order to get to them, you're gonna have to take off this piece right here. There are two nuts, I believe they're 12 or 14mm nuts on either side, one right here, one right there. You drop this piece down and then you have access to both of the other belts. So once you get those two belts off, we're gonna release the tension on the last belt. You're gonna wanna loosen this bolt right here, and then there's one up top that I'll show you right now. And then that upper bolt is gonna be right down here. So once you loosen that just a little bit, we're gonna go down to the bottom bolt and get that one a little loosened just so we can get the belt off. And if you don't have the right tools, my homie over here came up with this method. All right, so he came up with this method, and he put one wrench inside the other, twisted it, and he basically made an elongated wrench that has, I guess, some more torque. He made his own ratcheted wrench, basically from 2 wrenches. So once you loosened up both of those bolts, you're just gonna wanna push the alternator towards the motor, and that should get your third belt loose. All right, so once you get all the belts off, we're gonna start that in reverse order now. So we're gonna start with the alternator belt. I already started to put it in at the top, and then we're gonna strap it in from the bottom. That is the 31-inch one, I believe. Then we're gonna go to the AC one, which is the 33 inches. And then we finish it off with the final serpentine belt, which is the 36 one. And then the job is all done. So we were finally able to get the alternator and the AC belts on. Now we're gonna put the last one on, and we should be done with this project coming up very soon. So what's good, y'all? I just realized that this video didn't really have a proper outro, so I'm doing it quite some times later, but I will tell you everything about it. So basically, after that video happened, the reason why it doesn't have like a proper outro was because a lot of stuff was happening like wrong with the car, and we thought we basically like broke the car. Those belts were extremely hard to change. Not so much taking it off and disassembly, but putting the belts back on. So the first issue we were running into was that the biggest belt, or the longest belt, the one that we had to put on from the bottom to the top, that was super tight, and we weren't able to get that on correctly. So we were trying every single method to try to fix that. What my homie did end up doing was rotating something clockwise or counterclockwise, and helped get the belt onto the actual gears itself. So, and then when we thought about that, we're like, yo, were we supposed to move that clockwise or counterclockwise? And then we thought we threw off the timing of the engine, and we were doing so much research, but turns out that was fine. And then the next issue was we were trying to fix the AC belt, but the AutoZone guy gave us the wrong size for the AC belt. They gave us a much smaller belt than what we needed, so we ended up just throwing on the one that was already on there because it looked brand new. It looked like it was recently changed, so we didn't even change that belt. And then the last belt was pretty simple to get on. It wasn't that hard, but we were having so much difficulty with the first 2 belts that I was just like, bro, we're not even gonna film the outro. And we were just so nervous that we might have broke the car, because we heard that if you turn something clockwise or counterclockwise, we thought the engine was gonna be messed up. So we waited so long before we got reassurance that everything was good to start the car. And then when we started the car, it sounded like shit, and we thought we had broke it, but then it was just warming up, and the belts were going there, and we were still hearing like a loud noise, like a loud squeaky noise. So, but eventually we got that all ironed out, and everything was good. It just took some time. We just had to run the belts for a little bit. Everything just had to get all aligned, and everything was like that, and everything was fine. So I've been driving the car for like the last 2 months, and the belts have been fine. Just some squeaking here and there. I'm going to actually take it to a mechanic to make sure we didn't over tighten it or under tighten it. But I think we should be good with that. So that's going to be the end of this video. I just wanted to come in here, give you guys a little update, let you guys know the full story, the true story, why this video might have felt a little rushed, or why we didn't show everything, because we were just under a lot of stress because we didn't know exactly what we were doing. It was our first time doing it, and we were just super nervous that we might have messed up the car, and I just didn't feel like recording after that. You know, I was just drained after all that stuff that was going on. So this is the outro. I appreciate you guys. More videos are coming, don't worry. It might take a little bit longer. I've just been extremely busy, and it's just been harder for me to film videos, but don't worry, I still got like 3 more I gotta edit. I have 2 more that I have filmed, so I got like 5 or 6 videos in the pipeline, so make sure y'all stay tuned. It's been your boy Tim, signing out. Peace.